Welcome to the Brush Up. I'm Landon Miller, and this is what we're brushing up on today. Dan Klaich, the chancellor, wants to increase student fees here at the University of Nevada, Reno, and University of Las Vegas. We're talking about that. Also, big news for the NFL. Michael Sam, NFL draft prospect. He's thinking about joining the NFL. Here's the thing, though, is that yesterday he came out as being gay. Also, big news for Nevada recruitment. We're talking about new players as well. But first, let's introduce who we got today. We have Chris Boline to my left, editor-in-chief of the Nevada Sagebrush, and to my right, Leo Bias, multimedia editor. So let's start off with big news coming from the Board of Regents. An $8 a hike fee per credit starting next year. This would bring the tuition up to $199.25 per credit here at the university. Chris, do you think this is a good move?
I think absolutely. I think this is a great step in the right direction. Obviously, the students are going to have a tough time, with financials, but Nevada is an incredibly affordable school. Being a native of this state, and Landon, I'm sure you know as well, I think going here is going to really make people want to stay in state. This credit fee isn't the only thing happening in Nevada. This is happening, all across the country as far as, tuition rates increasing. And with more tuition, there's more opportunity to hire faculty, to build new academic buildings. I think it's a step in the right direction. It's going to hurt a little bit down the road, if we want to send our children here. But, it's going to help a lot, in the long run.
You think so in the long run? Leo, what about you? you're from out of state. What's your perspective with this?
I don't like it. I don't like it, and this is why.
All right, tell us, Leo, tell us.
Nevada only has 2 four-year institutions.
Okay.
California has so many. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why it's California. Tuition rates are very high over there. I understand that. People understand that, but it's California, and that's why people want to go there. For example, Nevada is known for affordable tuition, right? Mm-hmm. And if you raise tuition rates, people won't want to come here anymore. It won't be as enticing as before.
$8 a credit, though. Do you think that's really significant? $8 a credit.
It is, because it's going to go up to 200 or above, right?
Well, yeah, by 2019, this is what they say. By 2019, it'll be $224 per credit. You have to do the math here. So say if you're taking 6 classes, we'll just say 5 classes for the math of it. This is bad. I don't do math, but here we go. So if you do $8 a credit and you're taking 15 credits, that's what, $40? Yes, guys?
Yes,
come
sir.
on. Yes. So does that add up over time, Chris?
I think absolutely. But Leo, just to go off your point, the California schools, there's a reason that, that their tuition is so incredibly high. They've built themselves up over time. And so if Nevada wants to take a step in that right direction, they need to kind of follow suit in that sense. There are some things that Reno as a town can offer, but they have to kind of follow, keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. And I think that's what they have to do. They can't always be this bastion of, affordable colleges, because eventually they're going to have to, make that next step, especially, as an athletics guy with an athletic background like yours, you would know that we would need more facilities to keep pace with, all the Division I schools.
There I do agree. But like I said before, Reno is not Stanford, it's not Davis, it's not UCLA. That's why those schools are very expensive to go to. Nevada raising their tuition rates, I don't like it, and many students won't like it. I think so.
I disagree with you, Leo. I feel like Reno has a higher ceiling than Davis right now.
Wow.
Big words there. So we decided that we would take this question to the streets here, to the quad, and asking students here, what they feel about this increase.
I just know that a lot more students nowadays are paying for their own college tuition, and I think that if they're paying for themselves, that they shouldn't have to endure a raise in tuition.
I don't know, it's really nothing. So I'm not too upset about it. It's only $8 a credit.
Working, going to school, and plus getting the prices that are higher, that's going to be difficult for a student.
I believe that if they're going to raise the tuition cost, more financial opportunities and scholarships should be available so students can achieve this valuable education without having to pay more out of pocket.
So by 2019, it'll be $224 a credit. Chancellor Dan Klaich says that this is an effort to increase, to maintain the value of the education standards here at the university. Do you think that a fee like this is necessary, Chris?
Like absolutely, I think Claich has his mind or has his heart in the right place, and being a graduate of the university, being a former man of Sigma Nu, I think he's doing what's best for the university, and he has his mind in the right place, and he wants the students here to eventually cherish their education that they're getting here at a really affordable price, and he's kind of saying invest early because University of Nevada is kind of coming up, and I mean the education standard in Nevada is on the rise, and I think a lot of people have to realize that.
Leo, final thoughts.
But what does that mean for the students out of state, the students that do make up a huge percentage of this school? I mean, they're mostly California residents. It's going to be very expensive.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. Guys, thank you so much. Regardless, that vote coming to us in June, and by next year it looks like your tuition could be going up $8 per credit. So enjoy. We'll be back. Just got a text on my phone. Welcome back to the Brush Up. Joining us now is Eric Uribe with some news out of Missouri.
Big news, obviously. Michael Sam, defensive end and an NFL draft prospect, came out as gay. If drafted, he'll be the first openly gay player in the NFL.
Absolutely. Couple questions that we need to get off right off the bat here. Eric, what does this mean for the NFL?
I think this will be huge. I mean, Sam could be an inspiration. He could lead to more players coming out as gay. Because it's kind of known in the NFL that there's more gay players, but they just haven't come out yet. So hopefully Sam's kind of that role model, kind of paves the way so that he could be a real trailblazer for the industry.
Without a doubt. Leo, let's ask you this. What does this mean for his draft stock? I mean, does he have more value now that he's getting all this publicity?
He has less value, Landon, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of GMs and owners don't like all of this publicity, per se, and this may just really hit him hard in his pockets because his draft stock will fall. He was one of the best players in the country.
And he's not anymore?
He is, but like I said, this may affect locker rooms because not everyone agrees with this, and that's very unfortunate.
It is
because we do live in a society nowadays where it's open, and it's great that he did come out.
Yeah.
And I really respect him for that. And a lot of people will, but not everyone agrees with it.
I was reading something yesterday, and I don't know if it was TMZ. It's a great source of news, by the way. Highly recommend it. But he was saying how supportive of everybody at Missouri were of him coming out, especially his teammates. Do you think the climate of the sports world is changing when it comes to a topic like this?
It is, and he may be the first guy, like you said, Eric, coming out with such big news. And I think his teammates are the stars of this because they accepted him. They knew that he was gay, and I think whoever this guy joins in the NFL, his future teammates, they should take that into consideration, that his teammates in college accepted him and that it's right. Everyone has a right to do as they wish. We're all God's children at the end of the day.
Cool.
Personally, I don't think this is a big thing on his draft stock. I mean, scouts, they take months evaluating players, going to their background. They knew he was gay already. I do think the media circus will kind of deter them from drafting him, but I mean, his draft stock wasn't particularly high. I mean, he was a good defensive player in college, but he's kind of undersized for the NFL. He was kind of viewed as a mid-round pick. So I don't think it'll affect his stock too much, but it does take a small hit.
A small hit, indeed. So what say you? We're taking this question to the streets of UNR as well.
I mean, it shouldn't affect his draft status. It's not about your, sexuality. It's about how you play football or how you play basketball or whatever. So that shouldn't really matter.
I really don't think in the long run this will really be remembered. I think he could have a career to where it's forgotten that he was even gay. Like, he shouldn't be characterized as the gay guy in the NFL.
One of the top defensive linemen already coming out the draft. So I don't think it'll affect his draft status. Wasn't really much negative attention attracted to him, more positive. Got a lot of support from people. Even the NFL got made statements. His head coach made statements. Some of his teammates, a lot of his teammates supported him, so I think he'll be all right.
Some great opinions there. Final thoughts, Eric?
Just got to send kudos to Sam. I mean, obviously it's not an easy thing to come out, but hopefully this could pay dividends down the line for future players.
Leo?
I agree. Simple as that. I mean, you said everything that I was going to say.
Cool. We'll be right back on the Brush Up talking a little Nevada recruitment Great stuff for the Wolfpack. We'll be back. And welcome back to the Brush Up, talking a little Nevada recruitment. Big news, though, first. Scotty Hazelton, coach for the Nevada Wolfpack, saying he's leaving. What do you think about this, Chris?
I mean, it was a surprise to me. He came in last year as a former linebackers coach from USC. I think he had a lot of promise kind of implementing his Tampa 2 scheme. He's going to greener pastures with Gus Bradley and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it's a really step in the wrong direction, obviously. I mean, it goes without saying that if you don't have continuity in your defense, it's not going to flourish. And that's what Nevada's been missing the last couple of years, especially with their defensive coordinators. And, I mean, this recruiting class is going to take a big hit from, missing their coach that, would have been, molding them for the years to come.
So a step in the wrong direction for the team, but right career choice, Leo?
Right career choice, but you have to be a little bit selfish here.
Oh, I know a little bit about that.
A little bit selfish. I think it will take a huge hit for Nevada because most of this year's class, Kalai Meyer, a huge nose tackle that demands a double team, he played in the Tampa 2. Jacob Lackiden, another linebacker that played in Tampa 2. Corey Rush, the top guy of this class, I think his skill set fit in the Tampa 2 and as well with the Chauda. So I think...
what?
With the Chauda,
Chauda?
His name is Patrick Chauda. I'm sorry, Patrick. But
I liked how you said it. That's all I'm saying. You had a nice flow to it. But with Hazelton's departure, do you think this is going to hurt the Nevada Wolfpack, especially when it comes to recruitment?
Not when it comes to recruitment, but it will hurt them in the sense of consistency. Last year, the team struggled with this Tampa 2 scheme, and I think if they bring in a new guy that may run it a little bit different, or a new guy that may implement a new defense, it's gonna take time again.
Okay, I have a quick question here. All right, I know all about Tampa 2. I could write books on Tampa 2, but for people who don't know what the heck Tampa 2 is, can you explain it to them? Because I know all about it.
I can explain it to a sense. The Tampa 2 defense, from my understanding, is predicated on pressure from the defensive line, which was Nevada's
weak spot.
No, it was one of their strongest points on defense last year. They had a guy in Brock Hecking who was an all Mountain West player, Lenny Jones, Rakeem Yates, Jordan Hansen.
I would say Brock was the only relevant guy there, but
But that was where I thought their strength lied, and I think it really catered to that. Leo, you talk about some of the players that they brought in, 2 defensive line guys. I mean, I still think that they could, feasibly go to the Tampa 2, but if they go to, completely scrap it and go to another scheme, it might just, be another step in the wrong direction. They're going to have to rely on their offense to put up, a good amount of points. I mean, like last year, and I mean, as we can see from last year, that didn't win them a whole lot of games.
No. Leo, any final thoughts?
That's it. I would like to see consistency there, and for them to hire a guy that will fit this team's IQ and this team's personnel.
Cool. We'll be right back here on the Brush Up with some just horrible, horrible news out of the tech industry. Are we back, guys? Oh, geez. I hate Flappy Bird. Oh, I'm happy that it's going. The creator of the game yesterday decided that he's going to pull Flappy Bird from the shelves of iTunes and whatever. Do you play
from the
Flappy
Play
Bird?
Store?
From the Play Store. Do you play Flappy Bird, Chris?
Actually, I got into it last week. My high score is 56 right now. I beat my girlfriend in it, so I was really super proud about that. I think this is
Come
kind
on,
of
man.
I think this is kind of a craze in the same vein as the helicopter game. I think it's just helicopter game, 3.0. I think it's just a different spin on it. I think what's crazy about it is that on eBay they're auctioning off phones right now
with the Flappy Bird game on it, right?
For I think I saw it for around 5 figures right now, which is
auction
incredible.
it, Landon. Auction it.
I can sell. Leo, you refuse though to. Jeez, you refuse to play Flappy Bird.
I do.
Why
I
is
do.
that?
Well, this guy was making 25 to 50,000 a day.
In advertising, a little advertising on the top.
That is a whole year's worth of the average American's paycheck.
Yeah. Well, I guess he hates Flappy Bird just as much as a lot of people do.
Why?
Because it ruined his simple life. Because he had a simple life and now it ruined it because he's making all that money. Anyway, that's going to do it for the brush up. I have 46 for a high score. I need to beat his 56. We'll catch you next week on the brush up. Guys, thanks for joining us today.